Hi, good morning and welcome to another edition of Caravan Chat. I'm Neil Greentree.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Jared.
Both from the Gurus. And it's great to be back. So let's kick straight on. And I'm going to first of all address the elephant in the room. And that is what the hell has happened to my hair. Because you guys have been on it for ages. And that is that as well as I've got a midlife crisis, I've also got a new job, which entails laying tarmac for cash and cutting trees down. Okay, so let's get that out of the way now. How are you guys?
It's just strange that your midlife crisis came at 70, not 50.
Well, it's 57 actually. It does make me look 70. But there, look,
Yeah.
I had short hair for 20 years. So, you know, when you've had a beard for 20 years, you might think I might want to change.
You wouldn't know, you couldn't grow one.
I could grow one, but there. So, what have you guys been up to? Red holidays and stuff like that, and we're going to have some great weather as well.
Yeah. It's been good. I mean, we've sort of, it's been such a long time since we had a bit of a break, you know, it's been non-stop since the start.
You have worked extremely hard, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's very booked up at the moment, which is not rare for this time of year, but it's good. It's good to be booked up.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the day, tell the people the benchmark where you are at.
So we are, as of the end of this month, which is very fast approaching.
What's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
A year old.
We are, like you say, a year involved.
Oh my God, where's it gone?
I know, it's flashed before my eyes.
Has it? Oh wow. So okay. I'm not going to ask what flashed before his eyes, but yeah, well done. So a year, and then hasn't it gone by? And you know, I can remember when you guys started out, and now how much has changed, how much you've settled in, how much the business has grown, how much is bedded in, and now you are integral to this area of the UK and what goes on. And so from I suppose us and everybody out there, well done. It's good. How do you feel after a year?
It's good. It's good. I mean, at the start, it was daunting. I think
it's always a bit of a worry just to get that ball rolling, but I mean, once it's rolling and you get on your feet, it's not.
I think you underestimate that. Yeah, you went from two of my technicians into running your own business, and that's a massive. Okay, I know I was there to help and mentor you and stuff, but look, I've not played that big a part in it. I don't get involved day to day and stuff like that. So it's a massive move, and suddenly the buck stops with you guys. That's huge. Suddenly, maybe now you appreciate, when you're the boss of the company, you never switch off. When you go home, you never turned off. You're always looking at. I've sent you a couple of emails, I think, last night, and you answered them at kind of 8, 9. You do, because that's what you do. So it is a massive change, and not everyone can adapt to it. But yeah, a year down the line, wow, fantastic. So let's first of all kick off with Rate My Ride. So. What are we in today? So I thought we'd put us in a motorhome, because obviously you guys deal with motorhomes as well, Auto Trail Tracker. This is 2016, I think it is. And what do you think?
spacious. It's quite open. I think with the pod at the top, there's not a drop-down bed or anything there. It opens it up a lot. You've got wraparound cupboards all the way around up to this point. It stops at the bathroom. So there's so much overhead storage, almost too much.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
There's loads of it. There's so much room. Very open in the kitchen. Generally, I think it's quite a nice van. Yeah.
I've always been more of a caravan lover, if I'm being honest. But no, I'd go with that. It's very spacious. Not entirely sure about the upholstery, but it's not everyone's cup of tea.
I suppose, in answer to that question, Robbie, is this is not my opinion, but Auto Trail, the underpinnings of Auto Trail is safe. Okay, so the brand is safe. Your money is safe, so because they have such a good reputation, they've been going for a long time. They build a very good motorhome, and if you look at it, I look at this and to me, it's nice. I like the wood colour. I agree with you that it looks a bit bland, if I'm honest. I like little touches like this and the good quality LEDs. That's one thing which they're good at. If they put LEDs in, they put good ones in. It's not showing its age, but to me, we sat in an Adria a little while ago. Oh my God, what was it?
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande, and that was funky, and that created conversation. Whereas you sit in this, and to me, there's nothing wrong with it, because to someone it's a very good layout, very safe layout. This is what people, if you're buying a first motorhome, this is what you buy. But auto track, and you fix them, don't you? You can
Absolutely,
work on
yes.
these. So
yeah, we can do engine servicing, habitation servicing, warranty work. Everything, we can do it all.
Okay, so I think what do you give this out of 10?
I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I do mark harsh.
Ooh, that is a bit harsh.
Yeah. I'd say a 7.5.
Okay,
I'd say a 7.5.
Right. Well, I'm going to give it an 8.5, simply because Auto Trail have such a good reputation.
And with that, it is very solid.
Yeah, it is.
It is very solid.
Yeah,
It's not flimsy cardboard. It is a solid build.
They are. And fair play. There are many makers out there, and in my view, a lot of European ones, which look great when you walk in and have lots of wow factor and then fall a bit. And these don't. Okay, good. Thanks for that. Okay, so on to the next thing. One thing we're just going to cover before then we start is feedback. We always get feedback, and we thank you for your feedback. It's really useful, and we learn from it. One piece of feedback involved me, didn't it? So I talked too much on the last video. So someone said, several people said.
A few people actually.
What did one person say? It was the
Which
Neil.
one?
It was the Neil show.
Oh, that was
or
the
something.
Neil show. Yeah. Which?
Okay. So to respond, and thank you. You know, at the end of the day, we take criticism because that's how we're going to adapt. So in response to that is that I wasn't in the last video. Obviously, I was away at the time, and you guys did it, and so from being the Neil show, you then immortalised yourself into Jesus Christ, didn't you?
I did.
Because the lighting was that bad.
There was no Jesus complex in there, so I had to take it
So
on.
thanks to Scott for completely getting the and also filming it from, I think it was half a mile away, I think. So we're learning. So, but in answer to that was me and my father did a video as well, and so as much as the comments you go kind of maybe I talk too much, and I take on board sometimes I do. That also the video on the up and coming as it was NEC show. We had lots of feedback going, thanks for that info, it's really good. So we try and do something for everyone. So I will pipe down and let these guys talk as much as we can, but if we've got something to say, then we've got to say it. So we're listening, but also as much as some people go, well, they don't want me or him talking too much. We've got to keep everybody happy and serve everybody. So, but look, we always listen to the comments. We always listen to what you've got to say. So thank you. Moving on. Your questions.
Again, yes.
Let's talk techie now.
Let's get serious, shall we? Similar to last time, series of questions, all that have been emailed or dropped in the comments on the YouTube. So starting from the top, Claire from Bristol owns an Ariba Caravan.
Ooh.
She cannot figure out how to keep her lead acid battery at a healthy percentage. She said, what is the best way to retain my battery health throughout the summer and the winter months?
So in the summer, if you're using the vehicle, a lot of the time it will be plugged in. There's going to be mains power to it. It will constantly be charging.
Is that good?
It depends on the time period. So you wouldn't want to leave it plugged in constantly. Obviously, if you're not using the van, then we'd recommend plugging it in for 12 hours to 24 hours every...
Yeah, we say 48
2 weeks.
on my storage site. We say 48 because it gives enough time, but not too much.
Yeah, exactly. Every 2 weeks, just do that. If you leave it on constantly, then it can build up sulfate inside the battery, which is just crystals, and it can damage the cells.
Over time. It will kill
sulfation.
the battery.
Or start sulfation, and then it will cause a problem in the battery.
Yeah.
So sort of, if you're not using it, plug it in every 2 weeks for 24, 48 hours. In
One
the
thing
winter...
I used to, can I just say, one thing I used to say as well during the summer is maybe only once or twice, unplug your mains and turn all your lights on and run that battery all the way down, if it's a lead acid, okay? All the way down, to give it a deep cycle.
With that, not recommending to run it all the way down.
Okay, what's that?
So if you run it all the way down, it can damage the cells.
Okay, well that's interesting, because with the advent of lithium, the same goes for them as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
So maybe that advice is now no longer the advice that we say, but it still is good to run it low to give it that deep cycle. Otherwise, it just gets shallower and shallower.
Exactly. Draw some out, but you know they're leaving it. If you're leaving it for 2 weeks, that should drop it slightly, and then you can build back up. And like you say, it's always good just to use the battery every now and again, draw a little bit of power out of it, but don't run it all the way down.
Yeah.
In the winter, we'd recommend removing it, trickle charging it. So get a bench charger, take the battery out of the van and plug it into that. It's just a winter charge.
There's a lot of on that again on our storage site, and in another life I had with supercars and stuff, I have to keep them charged up, otherwise they genuinely go flat because they're Italian. Is the advent of intelligent chargers. Intelligent chargers, you know, they're really good. Noco, C-Tech. I'm sure there are others out there. Just avoid probably the Chinese ones because they might be a bit unreliable. I don't know, but I can certainly recommend C-Tech and Noco because they do intelligently charge your battery.
Yeah. And they're the safest way to do it because, like you say, intelligently it'll shut itself off and ping itself back on when it needs to.
Yeah.
And also you've got the option there to charge less lead acid and lithium and things like that. So
I was going to question you on that. You're saying in the winter months just to remove the battery, put it on a trickle charger. Is that the same for whether it, like you say, lead acid, lithium?
When you buy the battery, the dealer will be able to advise you on how often it needs to be charged, but as a generalisation, yes.
Right, okay.
Just ensure that your charger is set to that battery. Some of them have manual changeovers rather than the smart chargers. You can have a manual changeover so that you're on lead acid, lithium batteries, different batteries. You can change it manually.
Yeah, and one thing I would advise as an individual from the car side, because again, some of my cars have lithium batteries, don't let them run flat. If they run completely flat, you could kill them in one go. And and they're much more expensive, aren't they?
Lithiums aren't cheap.
600, 700 quid. So just be careful of that. Okay, but there are advantages to lithium. I'm a big advocate of that. I think they're quite good, but they don't represent a huge, probably 1 or 2% of the market.
It depends on what you're using it for. You know, the standard batteries are absolutely fine for the industry unless you're seriously off grid.
Or maybe you want your vehicle to look seriously off grid, but you never do go off grid. Because there are a few.
They're the extreme ones that still go to the standard
Have all the racks,
Yeah.
So
the other thing I was going to ask you while we're talking about batteries is, would you advise people having solar panels on the roof just to, throughout the summer months anyway, just to keep it topped up?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, in the summer they're brilliant. In the winter they're still working, obviously at a lower rate, especially in the UK. The only thing is, if you are storing your van, just remember you've got a solar panel, because we have a few people that they'll put their van into storage and they'll give us a call asking why the battery's flat if they've got a solar panel, but they've also got a cover. So they've covered the solar panel up, the charging stopped, and then the battery's gone flat over the time that they've left it.
Well, again, so from the storage, obviously I own the Volt Storage Group, and so from the storage side, we actually recommend not to put covers on, because all our storage compounds don't have trees, so you don't have all the stuff coming off them, so there's absolutely no need. All they will do is prevent your solar panels from working and scratch your windows, so there is no gain. The same for the front skirts. We have them come in here, you know, the aprons, people leave those on as well over the winter. They're absolutely no need. It's just going to scratch your windows, and so there's no need for that. Okay, cool. What's the next one?
Moving on, we've got Graham from Ipswich. Said, I cannot figure out why my ATC LED is remaining on the red and it used to display a green LED. Is it still safe to tow, and how can I get it working? And maybe it's worth just telling everyone what the ATC actually is. It's the automatic trailer control, and a lot of vans, especially big twin axles, have got a module on the underside that are mounted to the brakes, and effectively if you start to get a sway on, it'll automatically work out that it's starting to sway and activate the brakes and keep the whole van taut. But either way, Graham's story, he's got a red LED.
So the red LED, whether it's flashing or solid, it indicates there's a fault there and it's gone into a lockout. Every fault that is registered by the ATC, whether it be a bump in the road, a snake, anything like that, all goes into the memory of the ATC, which you can then access via a diagnostic tool. Now, the diagnostic tool, a lot of the time you can clear it with a diagnostic tool, but sometimes, especially with the newer models, Alco recommend putting it onto a reset, which is quite a long process. You haven't got to be there the whole time, but it involves, you know, a reset of around 12 hours. So you'll leave it powered up for 12 hours, and that'll do a hard reset on the ATC unit, effectively erase the memory and then bring it back to where it was.
So you say powered up, what do you mean? Is it plugged into the car, or?
So yeah, you could, plugging it into a car is effectively what we do. We use a test box, so we'll have an imitation of a car plugged into the Caravan so that the ATC is powered up for the time period that Alco recommend.
Yeah.
Now, with the red LED, we wouldn't recommend towing it because effectively the ATC is not working. It's either locked on or not working. You can unplug it and use it without the ATC, but it all depends on your insurance. So if your insurance requires you to have an ATC, so you've registered your Caravan with an ATC, just be careful of that, because if you unplug it, have an accident, and they find that it has been unplugged, it could then cause issues there. Obviously with the ATC unplugged, it will just mean that you're towing a trailer, effectively, you know, a Caravan without ATC.
My opinion of, you know, the experience I've had using ATC, as you know, that I actually tow vans down the road, put them into a snake to check the ATC, it's a fantastic, that and IDC from Winterhoff. Is it Winterhoff? No, it's not. It's
Winterhoff, BBW.
BBW.
Yeah.
And they're superb systems.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. I wouldn't be towing a van without ATC. You know, if it had it and it didn't work, I would be reluctant to tow it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yep, so, you know, if it's got a red LED flashing or solid, we'd always recommend giving us a call or giving an Alco approved centre a call, and they can advise you on where to go from there. But that's the safest thing to do. I wouldn't attempt to leave it on, especially obviously you're going to leave your car ignition on for it to be powered up. If you're doing that on your drive, it's always a risk, so we'd always recommend just giving us a call and we can talk you through it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
All right.
Last one.
And moving on, we've got Paul owns an Eldest Crusader twin axle.
Yep.
His local service centre have advised that he needs a front hinge bar reseal before it causes ingress. And he's put, I'm a bit sceptical on the repair process, and should this really be happening on a van that's 5 years old?
Okay, yeah. Well, hinge bar
Very
reseals
topical,
are,
isn't it?
yeah,
That one's a topical one.
Yeah.
hinge bars are fairly common. You know, not what vans do you have?
He said an Eldest Crusader.
So not just on Eldest Crusaders, not just on Eldises. You know, we've had a few Swifts recently come through where the front hinge bars are loose. You know, visibly loose. So it's almost it's every brand, isn't it? You know, it's not pinned down to one, but the repair process is fairly simple. You know, it's a remove, clean, reseal, but you'll prep it and everything will be done correctly so that it then won't come off again.
Is the problem due to bad workmanship, bad material? You know, what causes? You know, because if you've got more than one manufacturer having it, then is it? You can't just say it's down to bad workmanship. Is there a wider problem here?
There's not really anything you can pin it down to.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
there's a number of things that it could be. You know, preparation, whether you're prepping the surface before applying the bond. So if you don't prep a surface properly, the bond won't grab.
Yeah, they've had issues with that before, isn't it? Where they didn't prep the surface, and so the bonding's unstuck. Yeah, okay. Right.
You know, bad workmanship. It could be. You know, but in general, you know, you're screwing a hinge bar to a van, or you're bonding the hinge bar to the van. You can't get it that wrong and then it still leave the factory with it.
The other thing I'm just thinking now, obviously with a Caravan, you're constantly towing it down the road, the whole thing's juddering, vibrating, and that's obviously going to take into account.
Especially if it hasn't been prepped correctly, it's going to do damage.
Yeah. Can you remember the Buccaneer that I had, where we had to seal them up because we took one down the road for a test drive, new before it went out, and the front window didn't pop out but popped loose. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
And we had to get it straight back in and bond it back in, and that was no other problem, but the surface hadn't been prepped, so it was just prep it and do it. And if you remember, we did all Buccaneers from then on that we sold because we did not want that to happen again. So no one's fault. So okay, well that's so it's broad. I think I'm going to go, and you're going to get bored of me saying this, but it means go to an affiliated dealer or service centre again, doesn't it? Because you guys get to hear about these issues and you can get them up front, whereas I'm afraid, you know, the guy who just comes out in his van for £100 or whatever it is, he knows nothing about it, and so you know nothing about your hinge bar, and it may not be the hinge bar, maybe another part of it, and until you take it in for part exchange or take it in for its, I don't know, for some warranty work on the van, and they go, well, you've got a major issue with the front, and then you've got a headache, and it's just not worth it. I'm not anti the man in a van, because you have a van, you have a mobile service van. It's just go to an affiliated service centre that has gets the recalls, gets the info from the manufacturers, and they know the things to look out for on your van. You wouldn't go to a doctor for a health check, and that doctor's a vet and knows nothing about you. You go to a doctor who knows how your body works to ensure that you get a proper check. So yeah,
just quickly on that.
Yep.
Obviously, with it being an affiliated dealer and someone that is approved, you've then got the benefit of when they find these problems, they can then sort it through warranty. You know, if you've got the warranty, they can sort it. Whereas if you aren't approved or you don't have, the affiliation with the manufacturer, you're then sort of stuck having to come to.
They don't know the process. You know the process that the manufacturers go. You do A, B, C, D, E to get the proper job done. They don't do that. Look at some of the work we've seen. We've seen some rubbish coming. We had a Caravan come in, part exchange, and 2 weeks prior, it had been serviced by blip, 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 blip. But it's a dealer relatively close to us, serviced 2 weeks before. And you could see the blue staining in the ceiling. It was disgusting. And so yeah, just get a guys who know, please. Right, okay, so time's getting on. Thank you for that.
No worries.
End of the technical questions. One more thing we're going to briefly cover, just to give you an overall, is obviously what's been going on in the business recently. And we can't avoid that the Caravan Show's been on. Biggest show of the year. I was hoping to go. Sadly, I've had some health issues recently and couldn't make it. I was in hospital, and yeah. Did any of you get along to it?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Well, basically, it seemed to be quite a good show. It was pretty well attended. So they're saying that it's one of the best attended. 96,000. It wasn't the best attended. Best attended was 2023 with 106,000, but that was exceptionally high. 96,000 is about on average what the numbers of people who go. But the important thing, which I'm really pleased to report, is that sales were higher this year. So everybody's reported better sales, which is good, because we talked in previous about the glut of new vans that seems to have been pushed through. And I said, if you remember, within 6 months to 9 months it would go through, and it seems to be, here we are 4 months down, and it seems to be happened. And so the market is now moving forward again. So if you're hoping for that super duper bargain, I'm afraid you've missed the window. And so yeah, everyone done well, but one manufacturer did exceptionally well. Guess who it was? Let's do caravans first.
Yeah.
Which caravan brand do you think did really well?
It wouldn't have been Swift, was it?
Nope.
I've had a lot of customers come
They
in.
all were happy with how it went. I'm talking about, really did well.
I've had a lot of customers come in saying they were on the Coachman stand. A lot of people have brought Coachman. A lot of people have traded
Coachman had
in
a good show.
Coachman.
Yeah.
Coachman had a good show. So yeah, they were the kind of star players. And in motorhomes, there was an even bigger star player, and who really put the cat amongst the pigeons. Who do you think that was? You've got to think broader this time.
Wasn't Heimer, was it?
Not Heimer.
Am I getting closer?
You are getting closer. You are in the ballpark. It's a European manufacturer.
It's not Bursner, is it?
Bursner. Bursner released this year, I don't know if you've seen it, the new B66. Oh my God. Take a look at it, because you can buy a panel van, fully converted, looking fantastic, for 62,995. So I'm going to say that again, 62,995. Back in the day, 3 years ago, we were selling them for 75, 76 for a new vehicle. Yeah. 62,995. A low-line vehicle similar to this, 76,295. Yeah. No wonder they smashed it. Just absolutely just wiped the board. So, show was good, sales were good, which is a good sign. It means the market is coming back, things are starting to happen, which is really good. So, really pleased to report that. We're still getting sunshine now, which is excellent. So, yeah, as far as the business goes, I'm really pleased to say that we're heading back to where we normally should be. So, 25 minutes on the dot. And Binky's woken up, so it must be lunchtime. I think we've covered everything. I think anything else you want to bring up? I think we've covered everything we need to.
No, I think that's all good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done for hitting a year. That's a real big benchmark. You're still super booked up. we still have more news to come out, because it seems to be, you are looking for more staff, but that search seems to be continuing, doesn't it? That's taking a long time.
It's ongoing. Yeah.
I think with because we've had a few holidays recently,
There
people
has
have
been
off. We've
There has.
dulled it down a little bit, and it's actually funny you say that. I was talking to them this morning. We've been discussing it this morning.
Amanda?
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
discussing it and
Right.
and going through it. So
Work in progress.
the ball's rolling.
Because it
ball's
was, I think it was June when we first said. But you're right. There's been so much going on. You've been so busy, and there's been that much going on that we've not had time. But we are looking to move forward. We are looking to expand again.
Yeah.
So great. Well, guys, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please continue to comment. Tell us what you want to hear about. We will continue to do this kind of format. It seems to work, seems to be popular, with kind of side videos with me and the guys talking about specific subjects that you can either tap into or you don't. But other than that, from Caravan Chat on October the 31st, we're done. We're out. Thank you.